Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Robots Are Coming. I am your host, Chris Lazar. Thank you very much for being here. I wanted to kind of continue with what I left off with last week regarding jobs. Now, I know last week I didn't really talk a whole lot about, jobs that are being overtaken by robots, artificial intelligence, technology. But I think it is important to note some distinctions in how we are measuring what's a hot job, as the BLS likes to put it. What's a hot job? What's a job that's growing? Which jobs do I want in the future? Because I had mentioned last week the differences between new jobs, rate of growth, and job openings. Now again, a new job means there's a numeric change in how many jobs that occupation is expected to gain. But that doesn't necessarily mean that those are the jobs you want. What about jobs with a high rate of growth? Rate of growth is a percentage term. How fast the number of jobs in an occupation is projected to change. But fast growth doesn't always mean many new jobs. They give this example in the BLS website. South Carolina projects employment of commercial drivers to grow by 43%. But that growth only yields 30 new jobs over that projection's decade. Then why even publish those numbers then? To me, that seems misleading. And then, of course, there's job openings. Not because people are creating jobs, but because you're needing to replace people constantly. And if you look at the map on the BLS website, you'll look here and see a lot of stuff. Most new jobs in a lot of places. Look, Indiana, most new jobs projected from 2014 to 2024. Food prep and serving workers. You look at Tennessee, laborers, freight, stock, and material movers. Michigan, RNs. South Carolina, food prep workers, most new jobs. Florida, retail salespersons. Georgia, food prep serving workers. These are places that are adding jobs to the occupation. Not necessarily adding, in my opinion. More so, I bet that they need to replace workers because of the high turnover with some of these jobs. We're not even talking about technology yet replacing these people. We're just talking about they need to replace the people who are just having enough of working there. The other thing this article touches on a little bit is the wages. And they're comparing mean wages to median wages. Now, a mean wage is the average. You take up everybody, you divide by that many people, and that's your average. That's your mean. Then there's the median wage, which is the point at which half of something is between the top half and the bottom half. So to me, the median means the middle number. Kind of like a frequency. And they say that there is a difference in looking at each one, basically. The mean, you're comparing it to all other wages in that occupation. And obviously, the mean is going to be subject to higher salaries. So the higher salaries are going to pull the mean towards them, which is why the mean is good to look at within a job occupation. But for something else, you look at the median, less likely to be influenced by the larger numbers. And then one last thing from this BLS article was the Indiana. They had a little link here to the Indiana Hot Jobs PDF in Indiana. So this PDF ranked in the state of Indiana the hot 50 jobs. And what I find interesting with all the talk about this technology, that's going to be disrupting us, two of the top 3 jobs are jobs that I've directly heard people talk about can be negatively affected by technology. K through 12 teacher and truck driver. Hot jobs. I'm not so hot on this top 50 though. Truck driver is up here at number 3 on this list. When they say that driverless cars are, less than 10 years away from being a thing? Daimler already has a truck that they are testing. It's going to take a while for it to get approved and things, but they're testing it right now. So sure, truck drivers actually make decent money. But if you're in it for the long game, sure, you can get into it now, but where will that job take you when the robots come, in essence? Same thing with the K through 12 teacher. Especially with the advent of online courses. What role will teachers have? And it's listed up here as the number 2 job prospect. What this booklet fails to realize, though, is that some of these jobs you're going to have to go out of state possibly. This is the Indiana hot job, top 50 hot jobs. But who is going to be willing to move out of state for one of these jobs? You're not going to be able, not everybody's going to be able to stay in Indiana to find one of these. You got to keep that in mind, too. Sure, RNs are hot right now. But if you want to live in the city, those jobs are competitive. Sure, bigger population, but bigger population, more nurses, more competition. Are you going to be willing as a registered nurse to go to, remember what we talked about in the first episode? The number 1 place that was hiring? One of the top ones? California? I think, what else was up there? Alaska? I mean, are you going to be willing to move to a state like that? I'm sorry, Florida, California, Florida, New York, Ohio, North Carolina, top in need of nurses according to FastStaff. And I'm sure Alaska too. I'm sure every state is in need of nurses. Just some more than others. A couple other things I do not like about this booklet is that it puts the salary on there, the median salary, which I think is misleading. When you post something like this, you got to have a starting salary, in my opinion. Because not everybody coming out as a registered nurse is going to be making 57K. That's the median salary as reported in this booklet. Well, what's the starting salary? Can we report on that? I also don't like this education here, actually. It's good to see, but in a way, I almost think it makes you feel like, okay, this is it. This is all I got to do to get this job. This is all I got to do. You're downplaying experience, your interview, social skills, a bunch of other things that don't have anything to do with a degree. I'd like to see that changed, possibly. And that's it. Little preview. We might go into this Indiana hot jobs thing some more. We'll see. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.